Hello and welcome to the very first RacingDocCast. Today I'm going to take you through the card at DownRoyal on Friday and hopefully we'll get a few winners.
You got to know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never.
Well, it's a bit of Kenny Rogers, but Friday will be starting off with the 1240. It's a 2 mile 6 maiden hurdle, and I think let's get cracking with it. There's a few horses to really focus on here. To say the first race is 1240. I'm going to go through them in order and then pick out the one I think is really the really interesting one here. It's Brace Yourself is number 3 on the card's no meal horse. It won here on Boxing Day by beating subsequent winner Lily Gem, who's obviously gone on to win. I'm not sure how strong that form is, and the last time out was beaten by a horse called Getaway John, who was absolutely beaten at distance in a top class bumper at the Punchestown Festival with the likes of Relegate and whatnot. I'm not sure how the end of season bumpers tally in terms of form, but I would maybe keep an eye on this one, but I don't think it's going to be good enough to win this today. The next horse we'll be looking at will be Gordon Elliott's Diamond Turf. It beat a horse called Benaway out last time out, not really up to much. Was beat by a length by High Sparrow, so there's no real form there when I was looking at it. Dream Conti's number 7 on the card. It's Noel Mead's horse. It's ran once, won one bumper in April. Beat Coast of North. He was beaten by Getaway John, who's already beat Brace Yourself. So I've already mentioned that horse before, and sort of that form links him with Brace Yourself. But again, I'll be probably looking elsewhere in the card. First Approach is number 8, another Noel Mead horse. Beat Dr. Duffy by giving him a couple of pounds a couple of weeks ago. And then in revised terms, give him £11. It was beat by 2.5 lengths. So again, the form's not really stacking up too much there. That brings me on to my pick. Will be a horse called Cuneo, number 5 in the card, Henry de Bromhead. It won last time out at Tremor on heavy. I think the weather's not to be too great on Friday. I'm not sure it'll get to heavy, but I'm sure it'll soften up a bit. The horse who finished 3rd that day, though, this is a really interesting bit of form. Is a horse called Durrell's Purge. And he's interesting and it's a really, really good form line. That horse has won 4 of his last 5 races, including at the Galway Festival. But in May, it beat a Gordon Elliott horse by the name of Dinions, who has won his last 5 races, including last week. He won the 3 mile novices hurdle at Cheltenham. Now that obviously stacks into Albert Bartlett form. And that's currently, I think Dinions is currently 25 to 1. Durrell Purge, when I was checking odds checker, is actually heading up the market at about 16 to 1 best price. So if Cuneo hacks up here, it could be a very, very interesting form line come March. So 1240, my bet is Cuneo. Now coming on to the 110, it's a mare's hurdle, mare's novice hurdle. I think this race really revolves around one horse. I don't really need to go through the rest. And the form line of this one horse is just superior to everything else. A couple of horses who ran last week, I'm not sure will turn up. But let's start with who I think will win. It's a horse called Pecora, Willie Mullins' horse. It's a French import. Same owners as Mellon, so it has that black and yellow colours. Won on debut for Mullins in Cork in May, but her win at the Galway Festival was really the one where I really took notice on it. Won very easily. Now, if you remember, it was the second day, I think, of the Galway Festival, and Ruby had made his comeback the day before. And then on the first race, the second race was actually the first race on the next day, which was this race Pecora won. Now, Ruby unseated before the first jump when he was favoured on a horse called Exchange Rate. I'm not sure he would have got near Pecora or would have beaten Pecora that day, but Pecora won very, very easy anyway. Also that day, there was a horse that Pecora beat into 3rd by about 15 or 16 lengths called Cornardier, who I think could be potentially a top class horse. Now that horse actually finished 3rd here at DownRoyal about a month ago to a horse called Woodland Opera, which is again another Cheltenham horse. But then last week, Cornelius went on to win the Ballymore Trial at Cheltenham, which is, the old Neptune. So the form line's there. I mean, if your horses are beating horses that win at Cheltenham, this horse really could be a top thing. Now in Pecora's last start, he went off 5 to 1 on favourite and was turned over by a horse called Pearl of the West. Maybe a bit of a shock then, but then when you look at Pearl of the West form, she's went on to win at Cheltenham last week again, beating Rhodesian and Gumball. So there is a really, really, really strong form line. A few ran at Cheltenham last week, so I'm not sure who will turn up. The likes of Make My Heart Fly ran at Cheltenham last week. Pearl of the West ran at Cheltenham last week. Court Maid ran 2 weeks ago. So might be a bit soon for them to come out. Might not. If not, they'll be fit anyway. Don't Hesitate, I think, will turn up. Another Mullins horse. I expect will run probably, and as another, if it's owned by Mullins, obviously it'll be interesting to see who Ruby picks to ride. I don't think he'll pick anything but Pecora, but you never know. If there's any jockey changes there, it'll be interesting. Foley Pat's a Watson horse, won at Downpatrick recently. Holden Pattern's a Harrington horse. It finished last at Gordon last time out. Sancta Simona beat Momus, who actually ran on the first race here. Who will run on the first race here at DownRoyal. But there's no form. I didn't even mention Momus, so I don't think there's really much form there. Shimmer's Rock might be the each way one here, I think. Officially rated about 120. Finished above Martello Park this time last year. So there's an odd bit of form there. Beat Moonlight Escape, who has patches of form as well. I think we'll be one for the each way. Depending if we obviously got better rate of runners, and if we get double figures with Shimmer's Rock, that might be a better bet than Pecora, which I imagine will go off very strong favourite. The only other horse really to talk about is Prestonian. Harrington horse, again, a few bits of form, but not too much. That brings us on. So anyway, that horse, that race, my only bet really will be, the win will be Pecora, and each way will be Shimmer's Rock. The 145 is a WKD hurdle. I think all revolves around one horse. I think we all know who that is. It's a horse called Sam Crow, who is this week going in the favourite for the champion hurdle at Cheltenham. Jack Kennedy said this week that he's had a really, really good summer. He's come back stronger and bigger, so improvement is more than likely. I genuinely think this horse is something special. We all backed him about this time last year for the Ballymore, the old Neptune at Cheltenham, and he kind of hacked up. Maybe I idled the last sort of 50 yards, but I think he's an absolute superstar in the making. Who he's up against now? He's up against a Jardine horse, Bedrock, who won a couple of weeks ago, beat Wicklow Brave and Arctic Fire, so will be pretty fit. That is really, really top class form. Wicklow Brave is, an absolute superstar over the 2 miles, and same as Arctic Fire. Both always run quite well at Cheltenham. Whiskey Sour, who ran in the Cesarewitch at Newmarket a few weeks ago. I'm not sure running the Cesarewitch is really what you want to be doing. A really, really tough race before coming here. I'm not sure he'll definitely turn up. If he does, could be relatively interesting. I think it might make it a good competitive race for the likes of second place probably. And the only other one really to mention is Sharjah. Sharjah won handicap hurdle at Galway, beating Bedrock, but the last 2 runs have been over fences. So remains to be seen if he'll turn up over hurdles here. Even if he does, Sam Crow give Sharjah a good beating at Leopardstown there last February at the Festival of Racing. So I think the only other horse really that would be mentioned if he turns up, but I don't think he will, is Dortmund Park. I think Dortmund Park's a chaser in the making. I've backed him to go chasing at Cheltenham. I think he probably wants a lot further, and I think 2 miles round here will be a bit tight for him if he does turn up. There's a lot of people saying here, I was reading yesterday, a lot of people in different forums, a lot of things are saying Bouvedere is the form horse in the champion hurdle and Sam Crow has everything to prove. I think if you go back to Sam Crow's win over 2 miles at Leopardstown and then the 2.5 miles at Ballymore and Cheltenham, we all know to win a champion hurdle you need to stay 2.5. There's no point coming up that hill. It's a tough track, toughest track about. A lot of horses don't like Cheltenham for whatever reason. Sam Crow's already proved himself he has. He has followed in the footsteps of Faugheen, who we all know was an absolute machine. Faugheen won the Neptune a few years ago, which is now the Ballymore, and then the next year went on to win the champion hurdle. I think genuinely, I don't think we're going to get any odds of it. Sam Crow was sort of seen quoted about 3-1 on at the minute. I'd imagine, depending on when the sort of market fall gets properly set up and a few horses fall away, he'll be even shorter than that. I think generally what we should do, he's the best horse I think it's going to be been at DownRoyal for some time. Certainly over the jumps. Probably the best horse since Cotto Star about 10 years ago. So do you know what? This is what it's all about. I don't think there's really much, it's not really a betting contest as such. Just come and enjoy what could be the absolute next superstar of the hurdling division. And there's a lot of talk whether he's going to go chasing this year. Ryanair, the O'Leary boys, and like Jenkinstown and Gordon Elliott have announced this week he will stay over hurdles. He's still young; he can still go chasing if he wants. Just come and enjoy what is the absolute next superstar of National Hunt. Going on to the 220, it's a 3 mile handicap. I think there's 24 runners at the minute. One of the things I was looking at last night was out of the last 120 races between these 24 runners, which is pretty much the last five they've run each, they've only won 5. So that kind of tells you all you need to know about the quality of this race. If you're looking for one, the one I've sort of looked at and picked out is a horse called Cairns Hill. If you live in South Belfast, that may be a name for you to pick out. It's beaten the length by Happy Jew in September at Uttoxeter, and has since come out, and Happy Jew's since come out and won twice again. And he now is rated 114 over hurdles, so Cairns Hill could be well ahead of the handicapper here. If I was going to do a bet in that race, I'll maybe see what falls away, what price. If we get a decent price by Cairns Hill, I certainly might go in there. 255 is a chase. Again, looking at it, it's a novice chase, so a lot of horses here, they're having the first start out. Delta Work, I think, is really the one to focus on here. He's rated 152 over hurdles. The next best is Jets at 142, and then you're back down to 132, 134. So he really is by far and away clear at the ratings. If he takes any of that form over fences, and if he takes his hurdle form there, he should follow up. Now, that's obviously a lot easier said than done. We're not expecting him to win by 100 lengths or anything like that, but if he is as clear on the ratings over the fences as he is over hurdles, he'll take all the beating there. In the 330, another handicap, Penny Jane's top rated, so obviously he was going to be getting the top weight. 6-year-old mare, the only mare in the race, so quite young and possibly open to more improvement. Monbeg Chit Chat is the Bromheads. Might struggle off this mark. Finished quite a way down the field in a good chase, a really, really good chase, won by a horse called Peregrine Run. This race is nowhere near as competitive, so this could be it might be the height of his mark, and he might take all the beating here, maybe. When you look at the others, Paddy Roach's horse, the crack is 90. There's no real form, but he did win last time out, so he will be fit. Draycott Place, on his best form, could be up there, but will need to regain that, and that was a couple of years ago. I don't think he's going to have to really, I wouldn't say he needs a career best performance to win, but he will need to regain some of his old form. Drumconnor Lad, won here at DownRoyal in May, but only just beaten Draycott Place. Will he like the ground? We all know what the weather was like in April, May, June. It would have been rock solid. This ground will be a lot softer. Not sure he'll be loving that, and the form of only just about beating Draycott Place probably isn't better. What possibly is the best horse in the race, but has not done anything really since this, is a horse called Velvet Maker. He came second to the mighty Duvan, who is, I think, an absolute machine. I think it's probably the best horse over fences we've seen over the last couple of years. I know we've got Altior and Dessau and whatnot in the tour, but I think Duvan, on his day, is the best horse over fences. Velvet Maker finished 15 lengths second to him in 2016 at Leopardstown. Any sort of repeat of that form would see him thereabouts. I mean, getting beat 15 lengths by Duvan's not a bad thing, if you like. You're still going to be a pretty decent horse, but unfortunately he hasn't done anything since that. I think Monbeg Chit Chat will be my horse there. Just looking at it, again, it'd be interesting to see what the market is, if the few horses fall away, if we get any sort of decent price. And then the last race is the bumper. Now, bumpers I tend to not really focus on these for a betting heat, because you just don't know a lot of some of the form. The one horse though that has really, I think, is pretty well thought of in the Elliott Yard is a horse called Envoy. Is it Envoy Allen or Envoy Allen? I'm not too sure. I guess we'll hear what the commentator calls him, and we'll go with that. I think that's probably the one horse that has got any sort of decent reputation so far. I mean, if a horse comes out and destroys him, I'll not be surprised. And we'll really see if this moves forward going on through the rest of the season, how these horses get on. Bumpers, always think, are not really ones for betting. They're ones to watch out, because If you watch Sam Crow in the bumpers a couple of years ago, you'll know when you see a good one. And look how he turned out. So that's me for the first day at DownRoyal. I'll come back and maybe do going through the second day on the Saturday at DownRoyal. I think it looks to be a really, really exciting card. There's some really, really competitive racing in here. I hope the runners that we've looked at last night all turn up, and we're going to have a fantastic day of racing. And all the best, guys. Hopefully, as I say, my name's RacingDoc. You can follow me on Facebook, just searching RacingDoc. On Twitter at racing_doc. My name's Paul Docherty, so you can follow me in that. On Instagram, things like that. We'll be putting a few more bets up over the next coming season. The Cheltenham spreadsheet is already taken a bit of form. It's usually about January time when it starts filling up. I've started putting a few in now that I think are absolute search for Cheltenham. The Cheltenham spreadsheet's going into its like 7th or 8th year now. It is phenomenal. The success we've had from it, the popularity of it seems to be growing and growing every year. So make sure you give RacingDoc a wee follow. The same, my name is Paul Docherty, and I'll be wearing a RacingDoc jacket at DownRoyal on Friday and Saturday. If you see me, come and say hello. If you have any comments, you should comment below this. Good or bad, let me know. All the best, guys, and let's have a great day racing.